Hello, everybody. I'm going to be sharing my senior reflection today. So, in high school, everybody knew that I was a Christian, but I didn't talk about my faith or defend it when people questioned it because I was either scared to talk about it, I didn't know the answers to the questions they were asking, but mainly I didn't want to lose my friends for talking about my faith. I looked forward to coming to university as I saw it as the opportunity to kind of reinvent myself into someone who would live boldly for their faith. I thought being in a new place would make it easy for me to change because I figured I wouldn't really care what people thought of me yet, so I would be able to boldly live this Christian life. I'm sad to say that change did not even make it past the first day. I attended the chapel fire right at the start of the year because my sister told me to, but I was also really excited to get to meet other Christians. However, I had brought along a new friend, and when this friend kind of made fun of chapel and everything, I realized I was already too scared of losing the only person I'd met so far and become friends with that I wasn't willing to stand up for my faith. Over the next couple of years, I followed that friend, making choices I knew were wrong, acting in judgmental, not loving ways. And yet, I justified this because I told myself that I know these choices are wrong. And since I know they're wrong, it means my heart's still in the right place. But James 2:14-17 kind of kept coming back to me. And it says, "What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save them? Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, 'Go in peace, keep warm and well fed,' but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if not accompanied by action, is dead." So this verse kind of almost haunted me for a while because I knew I was living wrong, but I just kept convincing myself and telling God, I will follow what this verse says and I will do those deeds that are necessary, but it just has to wait till after university so I could go somewhere new again. So I constantly felt stressed and uncomfortable with my actions and friends because I knew sometimes they would question my faith or call me a Bible thumper or just say things that were so against my beliefs. But I just felt powerless at this point to be able to change who I surrounded myself with. So I didn't think I'd be able to make new friends. I didn't go to another chapel service until the end of my second year, again, because my sister told me to. But that was when I started to meet some other Christians, and I just immediately felt so loved and accepted and comfortable, all feelings that I hadn't been feeling in the past 2 years. And I just felt this stirring in my heart that I really needed to start changing how I was living. Made other Christian friends that supported me, and when I had questions, I was able to come to them for reassurance and answers. And I could feel my faith starting to grow because I had this good community around me. Two verses came to mind when I was doing this reflection. Proverbs 13:20, "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." And 1 Corinthians 15:33, "Do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals." These verses have kind of sat with me because I realize that I am very, very easily influenced by those around me and how detrimental that can be to my life and my faith. So, in my third year, I started attending a young adults group. I started coming to chapel weekly, and I was pretty successful at trying to read my Bible daily. And I just really focused on changing who I spent my time with. And I've noticed in the past 2 years that my faith has just gotten so much stronger by making these small changes in my life. And as my relationship with God has gotten stronger, I feel more comfortable and able to share my faith with those around me, believers or not. So I feel like what I've learned most in these past 4 years at Augustana is that it's okay to ask questions and not know all the answers. I know sometimes because I don't know as much about God or the Bible as others do, it makes me feel like a bad believer. But what I've realized through conversations with friends, especially this past year, is that everyone's going to have questions and times of struggle. And what is important is that you ask others for help and that you run to God with those needs. I've also realized that I can be very easily influenced by those around me, especially during times of change and uncertainty. So it's important that I surround myself with others who have beliefs like me and will support and encourage me in learning more about my faith and getting a stronger relationship with God. With this, I've also learned that while it's important to surround yourself with a good community, it's also important to be running to God with your fears and struggles and get strength from Him because He's who I need to be putting my faith and trust in, not things of this world. And as Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Him who gives me strength. So, in closing, I just want to share a song that's been one of my favorites for years and years and just reminds me how powerful our God is and how amazing that is. Thank you for listening to my senior reflection.